I'm Ruben from Go Train Fitness. Today I sat down with Ryan, who's one of my awesome clients. It's the first episode of hopefully many more to come, and we talked about his career, music, touring, nutrition, and all the nuances in between. I hope you enjoy it. Cool, so sat down here today with Ryan, good friend, 15, 20 years. We actually used to play in a band together years ago.
Wow, yeah.
Not that he wants to bring up that, but anyway, he's a professional touring musician, singer-songwriter, session player for the Arcitects, While She Sleeps, and he's just about to go on tour with
Ocean Grove. Heading out to Europe next week for about a month, filling in for those guys before we head back out with Arcitects a couple of weeks later. So back to America, Mexico.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah, mate, busy.
Yeah, so today, basically, I just want to talk a little bit about, you know, yourself and your sort of journey into music and career, and then also maybe look at how, you know, because we've been training together for a period of time now, how training sort of had an impact on that, and how maybe it's helped with, you know, your physical, mental, you know, fitness and well-being sort of thing. So I suppose to start with, just to know a little bit more about like how you, obviously we're mates, do you know what I mean? But there's probably stuff I don't actually know.
There's a lot you don't know.
Yeah, but don't want to talk about that. That's my OnlyFans channel. But like, yeah, so how you sort of got into, first of all, sort of playing guitar, and then how that, you know, your journey from where you started to sort of where you're at now.
Sure. Well, I started really young. So I think I picked up a guitar around 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old. I actually originally wanted to be a drummer, but my dad wouldn't buy me a drum kit. So yeah, he got me his guitar down from the attic, and then I just took to it straight away. And fortunately, that was just my path then. I think I took to it straight away. I loved it so much from the get-go, and I knew that was the path I wanted to take.
Did you ever play bass?
I can play a bass, two less strings in it. So it's
that's why I play bass.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Started a guitar,
that's why you're a personal trainer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a failed musician. That's why I'm interviewing this.
But yeah, and then various like I started. I went to like a college and stuff, but they were rubbish. So I dropped out of college, and then I actually ended up when I was 17 years old. I went to a music college down here in Brighton.
BIM.
It was BIM. Well. Yeah. Which was great, and you know, my main reason for going to BIM was to just meet other like-minded musicians, which is what I did, and I formed a band with a few other guys that went to the college, and that was it. We were away on tour pretty much after a year of forming.
I was gonna say, that was Crave.
That was with the Crave, yeah. Which was an amazing time, and I was in that band for 11, 12 years, so I fronted that band, Songwriter, and then that sort of came to a natural end, sort of around 2012, I'd say, and then ever since then, I did a couple of other bands in between and stuff, but primarily now, I call myself a session musician, so I still do a bit of songwriting and stuff for various artists, a little bit for myself, but my career now is based in session musicianship, so like you say, the likes of Arcitects, and if there's a lot of bands in this, I've somehow ended up in this metal world, which is not really where I came from. But
it's really your influences, well, it's like more Tom Petty.
I'm a big Tom Petty, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you don't have to do me like that with Bryan Adams.
Okay. Ryan Adams, right?
Oh, Ryan Adams. Yeah, sure. No, he's a bit naughty these days as well. So no.
I had to double check I got it right as well. Like Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams, yeah, all of that. But it's been great. I've got a lot of friends in that world, and it's opened me into another section of music that I wasn't necessarily a big part of. I always loved doing it and stuff, but yeah, we've been like touring with the likes of Metallica now and Linkin Park and all sorts of really cool stuff. So it's great to be in, and it's taught me. It's like taking me out of my box of what I knew and what I know, and that's what you want to do, right? You want to progress throughout your career and learn new things. So I'm always learning.
Because now because you've got keys as well, and that's one.
Yeah. So I play keys.
Did you actually learn that though? Did you? You didn't play.
I could play basics and stuff of it. The guy's basically like, "You play keyboards, right?" And I was like, "Sure."
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it get the job? I'll play it. Yeah. So yeah, it's still, again, something that I want to improve on is my like keys playing skills and stuff. But a lot of the stuff I do with Arcitects, it's all sort of bass synths and stuff anyway. So it's a lot of vocals, a lot of guitar, which is where I sort of specialize in, I guess.
Yeah. But you're saying it's challenged you though in that sort of role that you weren't really, because you came from more singer-songwriter.
Yeah,
gone more into like shreddy.
Yeah. It's all
metal.
It's gone from like Gretches and Telecasters to Jacksons and B flat tunings now and stuff. Which is again, quite a lot
of singing as well.
Yeah, and it's a totally different way of playing and a totally different way of singing as well. So again, it's just great to learn new things and be constantly sort of evolving as a musician. So yeah, I love it, man. It's great. So that's.
He didn't mention our band.
Oh, our band. Yeah, we can talk about that if you want.
Riot. Let's just forget that.
God bless you.
God bless Riot.
God bless you. May you rest
that
in
was
peace.
Actually like, you know, I feel like that was the bit you needed.
Yeah, you reckon?
to push you to that next level is like.
Yeah.
I really don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this.
The 2 a.m. McDonald's trips and all of that. Yeah, it was. No, it was an amazing time. Do you know what? And for those that obviously will not know who Riot are, it was a wedding band. It was a wedding band. But do you know what? I know so many musicians and huge artists that still do that, you know, and it's like, again, it's just another way to earning money as a musician these days is really tough. You know, it's like, I think if you can sustain a living through being a musician now, you're successful. You know, 100%. It's not you don't have to be, you know, my dreams were always being the artist, being this, being that and stuff. And, you know, your goalposts change throughout your life and the music industry's changed so much as well that the goalposts always do have to shift, you know, and you have to move with them. And, you know, I think if you can sustain a living now through being a musician, you are successful.
100%. And do you find it's changed loads? I wasn't really going to go into this, but like since obviously the lockdown, since that happened, do you find that's had an impact on your ability as a musician to sort of be successful or earn money from it? Have you found it's changed in terms of live shows and stuff like that? Or?
No, I don't think so. I think it did, you know, coming out of COVID was different. I think people were still very afraid of being in large audiences and stuff. But I think I'd go as far as say it's pretty recovered now. I think the only thing that's been a real downer from it all, it was a lot of the independent music venues, which are so important for musicians and new bands and artists, didn't survive, you know, which was really sad to see. Because, you know, even in Brighton, there's so many great music venues, and there still is now, but, you know, a lot of them didn't survive all over the country from that. And that is so important for the music scene and for upcoming new musicians to go out and earn their stripes, learn how to play live and be a band. But yeah, I'd say it's pretty well recovered now. You're not really seeing like dips in audiences and stuff so much anymore because of the likes of COVID and stuff. I think it's.
But I suppose, I was thinking whether it made a shift, because if more people are actually now going towards, you know, because I know when it first, just from sort of my perspective in terms of, I've noticed from the clients I work with as well, that like, you know, once COVID was such a fucked up time anyway, that happened and it was like this fear of like, okay, when's work going to happen again? So people then take on whatever you can, take on loads and, you know, work as much as possible. Because again, it's like, when's that going to get taken away from you? But then how do you think now it's like shifted and, you know, shows are more busy, like more people are wanting to go to actually see people and, you know, have human interaction and stuff like that? Or
I think that's, you know, I think, like I say, I think that after COVID, I think you were only really seeing that in the first sort of year and a half, 2 years maybe max, of people still not wanting to risk be out and in large audiences and stuff, and festival, you know, situations that, you know, had to recover from that as well. But I wouldn't say it's really affected anything now. I mean, it's been what, like 6 years now, 5, 6 years?
I still feel like it's crazy, like 2, 3 years.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's like, no, mate.
I mean, and again, if anything, like during COVID, you know, because musicians could not work. We were the last ones to come back pretty much from a lot of it. If anything, speaking personally, I actually still learned more throughout that time because I was trying to find other jobs that I could do from my home studio. So I was like, there was at points I was doing like voiceover work for like some cartoons and writing music for different shows, library music, TV show stuff, you know, which is not something I was necessarily doing before, but because I found myself being locked in my room so much, was like, right, how can I monetize this? How can I do stuff and still earn some money? And that's kind of, you know, I still do that stuff now, and I probably wouldn't have done that if I hadn't been locked in my bedroom for 2 years. But yeah.
Cool, man. And then I suppose just to move towards more sort of health and fitness and stuff like that, and also, again, I suppose it relates to stuff we're talking about, coming from a point where some people absolutely thrived during that time, some people sort of like, you know, really struggled. But how have you found that, like, I don't know, fitness or looking after yourself, mental well-being and stuff like that has affected, I suppose, your career, or what's your challenges sort of?
Well, for me, fitness, it's always been really a big part of my life. I think I started sort of obsessing over the gym when I was 16. So I think I was still just coming out of high school, maybe in my first sort of college year and stuff. I was really getting into fitness. And I've tried to maintain that somewhat throughout my whole career. I think now that I'm doing a lot more consistent touring, and I turned 40 last year, it does get harder.
Look 35, like, mate. Come on.
Yeah. Oh,
there you go, 35.
Thank you, man.
That's my program. Okay.
And cut.
And we're done today. So.
Yeah. But no, it's for me. I'm a creature of routine. So like when I'm home from tour, obviously, you've been my PT for a little while now, and I have your program, and you're able to update that program for me. So when I'm home, I feel like I have a really good routine. I'm an early riser. I get up first thing in the morning, and I like to go to the gym first thing in the morning because I like to start my day feeling like I've done something productive, and then it gets me in the right headspace, like mentally and physically. Then I feel good for the day. Obviously, when you're touring, that's not always the case, you know, because you might still be traveling. You might have a travel day. You can't always get to a gym. But again, having something like the app that you've provided me with, I can stay on top of a lot of stuff. And it's not hard to go and find a gym, you know, on a day. I mean, you came out to Vienna recently and came in to see a show.
That was a perfect, just the way it was literally in the venue, wasn't it? Right
yeah.
next door. I mean, they're not always, you're going to be in different situations.
And we were able to just go straight to the gym and train.
Yeah.
But like I say, sometimes a venue might be on the outskirts of town and there's not something there. But maybe I'll go for a run, you know, on that day. It's trying to create a routine, because I think a lot of the time on tours now, you're sitting in, you know, everyone thinks of touring as this like real glamorous lifestyle, and it's not like that, unless you're like Mariah Carey or something. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's great with Arcitects. They're a huge band, so it is a comfortable way of touring. But it's a lot of time you'll get into a venue at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and you'll be sat in this venue for 8 to 10 hours, you know, and a lot of these dressing rooms, they don't have windows, natural daylight, and you can end up just sitting there and doom scrolling for hours and hours and hours, you know, which is no good for you. It's like no good for the brain, and you need that interaction. We try and get outdoors. We'll try and go for, we call it the mental health walk. We get out after sound check and we'll all go for a walk, you know, for a good hour or so, get some steps in. I might have gone to the gym earlier that day with a few of the guys. And it's just trying to keep your body and brain active, which is so important, I think, on tour now, because like I say, there is so much time that you could spend just sitting on your ass all day.
If you've got the privilege to.
If you've got the privilege to.
Exactly. It depends on your role within like that.
Exactly. Exactly. You know,
because whereas your day will look vastly different as a, you know, as the band to someone who's
to the crew.
The crew who's got like, you know.
Yeah.
But that's why I love the different perspectives, and also, you know, the different challenges we've come with that, where someone, you know, they're loading in, they're the first one in, first one, last one out sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got, you know, that time within the day, essentially you want to be, well, you want to utilize that time rather than, you said, wasting it scrolling, and which is only going to do fuck all for your mental health, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
and even that time I came to see you when we went to Vienna, and it was just like, well, just get out and have a little look about.
Yeah, just going.
You're in amazing places.
Exactly. How lucky are you to be, you know, in these cities all the time and stuff? And you know, you do have a few hours in the day to go out and do stuff, and you should go and see stuff. And like, it's amazing, you know, like getting to travel the world and do something that you love. And you should make the most of being in these places and cities and get your steps in. Do you know what I mean? And what a great way to do it. But yeah, and then also, like, you know, we're older now. It's, you know, 40 years old. We've stopped really drinking on tour now, and I'm finding a lot of bands who are in a similar age bracket to us are doing the same thing. You know, I toured with While She Sleeps last year. There's no drinking on that either. I mean, there was couple of nights.
Is this the one you had the air fryer, or was that the?
Yeah, we bought an air fryer for the bus, so we could make our own food and stuff. Sort of have that bit of routine, like we're talking about, like
or
being
something which is controllable.
Yeah, it's controllable at that point, because a lot of the time in America you don't get like catering and stuff, so it's a lot of buyouts where you're just given money to go and eat whatever's close to the venue, and obviously in America it's quite tough.
Yeah.
There's only so many times you can go to Sweet Greens. But before it really affects the smell of the bus as well.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what Sweet Greens is, to be honest.
Oh, it's like a health. It's like a health.
Oh, is it like whole food sort of thing? A little bit or not?
It's like a sort of fast food health thing. So you can go and get bowls of stuff.
Right. Okay.
And they're in every city.
Okay.
But there's only so many times you can go there. Do you know what I mean? Before you've completed the menu, and then it's.
The acai, do they use acai? Acai? I don't even say acai.
Acai bowls. Yeah, you can get all
I never know how to
stuff.
pronounce it. I say acai. Acai, ass bowl.
Yeah.
Bowl of ass.
Yeah. Nice bowl of asshole.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I mean, it's just tough now at 40. I think. Like, I mean, I'm making it sound like I'm really old. It's not tough, but your body changes, you know, and you have to look after yourself. If you're away for like a month now, and like I say, you go from having like a real routine when you're at home and really being in control of what you're eating, and your what you're doing with your day, to then just going out and not necessarily being in full control of what you're eating, and when you're going to be able to get to a gym and stuff. So it's just finding a good balance between all of it, like. And not stressing yourself out about it either. Yeah,
I think that's the thing, and getting the balance right, because especially if you've had long, like 2 shows on the row, or even sometimes you do 3 shows, and it's like not being in that mentality where you're actually feeling guilty that you haven't gone to the gym or something, and it's never about that. I think you want to respect, your body needs rest. And
and also you're playing a show for 90 minutes.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Which is a workout.
Which can be a workout, you know.
Ali plays, drums. He actually he did what did he do? He put heart rate monitor on and stuff like that to actually track how many calories or whatever during his show. Yeah. And it was just like during a hour and a half set or whatever, he's fucking peaking some of these like heart rate at 180. Where it's that's a full on workout.
Yeah.
It's not even like it's so it's taxing. So I think the thing is where you can get in the mindset where it's like you've got something to do, but you're not in a position where you're like pushing yourself too hard, because at the end of the day, your show and performing.
And it's tiring, do you know what I mean? Like even the travel can be tiring, you know, like it's when you're in festival season, you know, there's no tour buses and stuff. It's just flight, early morning, late night, early morning, late night. And you've got to make sure that you've still got a good energy and feel for the show, you know? So if you're getting to bed at like 2 a.m. and then having to get up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. to go and get on the next flight, you probably don't want to go to the gym that day because you're going to be knackered, and it's not going to be like you're not going to get a good workout. It's not going to be productive. And then the show will be affected. And stuff. But I mean, going back to the non-drinking, I think that's really helped. Like, it's like there's just so much more energy in everyone now. You know, like I'll still have a few drinks when I'm home, or we have what's called Roadie Friday. So it's like, if you're going into a show that has a day off the next day, have a drink after that show, so that you're having, if you want a hangover, it's on your day off. It's not ever going to affect a show day. You know, do it like that. But I think just the days of like the sort of rock and roll way of touring and stuff, it's just,
I feel like
it's not sustainable, and it's like you have to look after yourself, like especially if you're going away for 4 weeks at a time. you have to look after yourself. Sounds really boring.
No, but you're a professional at the end of the day. I think it's like,
it's a job.
Exactly. It's your career.
Yeah.
Whereas like when I was playing in bands and stuff like that, it was more like punk rock shows, small little circuits, and like wedding bands or whatever. It's such a low thing that it's like, one, I was younger, so it's obviously we're getting way more pissed all the time.
Yeah.
But it's like if you fuck up or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like you're at the top of your game.
It doesn't matter if you ruin someone's wedding.
Yeah,
you don't want to ruin your own show.
That's what I was saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, fuck. It's the special, most important day of their life. They completely ruined it. Bum notes. You know what I mean? Hungover as shit. Fucked it right. No, I didn't. But like, do you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, it's your career, and it's like, you want to perform.
You want to be the best you can be at your job. Do you know what I mean? Especially as a session musician.
Yeah.
I want to be getting calls for other jobs. You know, and everyone that you meet will eventually work for someone else and could recommend you to someone else and stuff. So as long as you're not turning up like pissed and stuff, like it's really important. But I'm finding again, a lot of bands that we come across now at a similar age to us, they're all doing a very similar thing. Everyone's looking after themselves and stuff, which is great.
Do you think that's what I was thinking? Is it that like an age thing that like now we're approaching 40 whatever, or that sort of age, or is it just generally I feel like the industry is shifting more towards like more conscious of looking after yourself? And
I think so, yeah. I mean, a lot of the younger generation don't really drink anyway now.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Like,
well, we didn't have alcohol-free beers back in the day, did we?
Yeah,
it was just
exactly.
like, I don't think it was an option.
Yeah,
Ketamine, weed, Frosty Jacks. What are you going to do? All of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, alcohol-free. What the fuck? Why would you drink it? What's the point in drinking it?
Yeah. No, it's...
I sound like an alcohol.
But do you know what? Since doing it with the touring, it's actually really improved the way that I treat alcohol when I'm at home as well. Because I would get home from tours and like you end up just cracking a few beers on the sofa and stuff. I don't do that anymore. Like if I go to the pub, I only really drink now if it's like an occasion for something. I hate hangovers at this age.
Yeah,
I don't want them.
I don't think I could deal with it.
And it's definitely had a very positive impact on my whole life, not just the touring side of things. And we did Dry January. We were on tour for the whole of January, and pretty much the entire touring party was off the booze. I think we had one beer.
When I saw you still doing Dry Jan, weren't you?
Yeah. I wasn't drinking when you came out.
I think the thing is also they've got a lot of good options as well. They've got like they don't actually taste like shit. A lot of like
the alcohol-free beers are great.
Whatever we had in Vienna,
it gives you that vice. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes when you're on stage, you kind of want to have a beer or something in your hand to like in between songs, whatever, just to like feel that you're getting something. But it's weird that you do get that same feeling from just having a bottle of 0% on stage. And like you say, some of them are really nice now anyway. So just having something in your hand to be like, hey, there's a bit of something.
Yeah, it's almost like a habit, isn't it, in a way? But
also you don't need a piss halfway through the show, which it was a real bad thing for a while. When you've got a pint of Aperol Spritz on stage, it's can be detrimental to the show for sure.
Sound. And then like, how do you think sort of the coaching and sort of training and having something or having a plan, how has it helped you? Or do you feel it has helped you in be more consistent with stuff? Or
well, there's accountability there. I think for a lot of it, when you are on tour, you can just fall into the trap of can't be bothered today, or I'm too busy today and stuff. Like it's nice having, again, with something like your app, I can see my whole calendar, my days, and what workout I need on what day. And if I can't do that, I can move it to a different day. It's been great having that app, I think, just to like, I can check in with it every day and you'll be on the other end of the phone on the app, like checking in with me. Oh, I saw you got a personal best today, that's wicked. Or you can change the exercises for me on tour, especially like if I'm going to a lot of hotel gyms, there's not necessarily the same amount of equipment, that you get in a standard gym. So you can change that routine for me, which is amazing, to always have something for wherever I am, which has been a great tool to have, I think. Otherwise, if I didn't have that, I think I'd just probably be in no man's land a little bit with it. I'd still try and stay on top of it because I say I enjoy doing it. But when I have that, it feels like I still have a routine when I'm away.
Sure.
So yeah.
Smashing it, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Damn well. Sound. And then I suppose what would you say to, or what sort of advice would you give to someone who's, I don't know, considering getting into training or fitness, or, because it can be quite an overwhelming thing. You know, at first it's like, especially a lot of my clients and stuff I initially speak to, it's always like, you're quite removed from that lifestyle. You know, gym can be this quite intimidating thing where it's like, lots of people fuckers and looking at themselves in the mirror, all this sort of stuff. It doesn't really, especially if you're someone who goes in that environment and you're not too comfortable. I suppose what would be, I don't know, a bit of advice you could say for them to make the first step?
I think firstly, with anything
question,
really.
I was like, how am I?
Get on with it, mate.
Is this,
You're not paying me
is
for
this
this.
question going to ever end? I was wondering where to put the question mark. I was like, I can't read my own fucking writing, so I was like, at this point, I'm lost. I was hoping Will would tell me what to do.
You gonna let me answer or not?
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
What was the question?
No, it wasn't even a question.
Advice. Yeah. Right. Okay. No, I think the same with anything really. If you're gonna really sort of like want to get into something, you got to want to do it.
Yeah.
You have to want to do it first before anything. If you're not going to have the energy to do it, then there's no point. You know, you have to want to make changes, I think, and they're all positive changes. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I think, and obviously when you start gym and you haven't really done it much before, you're gonna feel the pain. You're gonna have all of that stuff to start with. It's pushing through all of that. Obviously, we all know that.
But you know that because you've done it.
Yeah.
But like other people who started it, sometimes you don't know that, so it's like this fucking sucks.
You have to get through the start of it. It's the same with learning guitar. You know, your fingers are gonna hurt. Like it's the same with everything. You know, drumming, whatever. Your hands are gonna hurt. You're gonna get blisters. Stuff. But then eventually you get through all of that, and then you start to see the benefits of it. I think when you start seeing the benefits of things, especially with training, that's when you really start to push on from it. You know, when you can actually see a physical change in yourself. But mentally as well, like I go to the gym just as much in my headspace as I do my physical body. You know, it's like I said to you earlier, it's a great way to start my day. I feel like I've done something productive straight away with my day. And yeah, I mean, you've just got to push through it. And you just got to have the want to do it.
Yeah. And knowing, I think, as you said, I like the way you related it to playing an instrument and stuff like that, because it's really important, because it feels like someone who's, you know, doing this for the first time, because it's unknown territory. It's like, well, as you said, initially it's going to suck a bit, and it's the same as fucking playing bass or it's doing scales or whatever.
It's the same as learning anything. Learning something. You don't know it until you've done it, until you've tried it. You know? It's the same with training. Yeah,
but I think sometimes, I don't know why it is with training, that some people think it's probably the way it's marketed as well. It's like, why am I not seeing results straight away?
Yeah,
mate, you've been training for like fucking 2 weeks, and you've been abusing your body for fucking 20,
it's consistency
30
as well.
years.
It's consistency. You've got to keep at it.
Yeah,
you know. It's not going to come overnight.
No,
you know, it's
being realistic, I suppose, though, as well.
Yeah, being realistic.
That's an important thing. Because I think if you initially set your heights or your goals to, you know, too high, or, you know, especially when you're just starting out, that in itself is like, it feels like a fucking mountain to climb. You know, and that's why I think it's important to break these goals down and build it up and start at a point, and start at the level that you're comfortable at. Rather than what I find is, again, people get put off because they start something and it doesn't fit with their schedule. It doesn't fit with your routine. It's like when you're on tour, if you're trying to fit, you know, 5 days a week in, which you've been doing at home, to then take that on tour, it's like, that's a different world together. You know,
and there's always time. You can always find time to like better yourself. Do you know what I mean? I've come across so many people that will be go, I just haven't got time for the gym, haven't got time to do it and stuff. I think that's bullshit. I do think you can make time to be a healthier person, you know, and a lot of it's like, you know, you'll know as good as anyone, a lot of it's down to not just the training side of things, it's down to the food you consume and the drinking and stuff, like tiny little changes, you know.
I think that's the one. It's barriers though as well. I think the time things, like, again, it's a barrier and it's a reason for not doing it, but there's lots of different barriers. It's like, say if something's like you don't know what to do in the gym, you don't know, you know, how to perform an exercise, or you're not comfortable in the gym, or you don't know what to eat, or do you know what I mean? There's lots of things, especially with like, I think social media and stuff like that as well. It makes it even more overwhelming. Yeah. I'm in the same when I scroll it and you just see people are telling you shit all the time.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, what the fuck?
Take it back to basics. Yeah, take it back to basics. Just like, you know, it's easy once you start getting into it. Like, you don't want to be consuming too much information from loads of different sources. Like, pick a person. You know, like, you've been my person for years now. You know, I'm not listening to loads of other people giving me different ideas of what you've already told me. You know, it's just stick to one thing.
Listening to my lies. Listening to my bullshit.
Yeah.
No, it is important though, because you take too much different information from everywhere and you can just become overwhelmed, and that in itself is just another barrier for not doing it. But I think the key thing is to be realistic to start with. Start at a point which is actually like where you are at, rather than like, this person's doing this. Yeah, this person's doing this, but that's not you.
Yeah.
And then also, again, going back to realistic thing, what you can commit to around your schedule and your lifestyle and stuff like that. Yeah. And I think, again, with a lot of my touring clients, it's like, well, when they're home, like that is almost, I see that as a different phase of training to then when you're away. So like if you relate it to, you know, football and seasons and stuff like that, they're pre-training, and then when they're actually in season, and then, you know, the downtime is going to be different.
Yeah.
So if you can sort of look at like, oh, I'm on tour, that's my game time or whatever. Yeah. I've used the time when I'm not on tour. So obviously, first of all, fucking relax, because you know, you need to take that rest. But then also, if you've got a bit more time to sort of push your results and then sustain it whilst you're on tour, so then you can sort of be clear at certain points when you should be pushing it and when you should be like chilling out a bit.
I think that's a big part of it when you're touring. I think, like, because like I say, when I am home, I've got a lot more time to put more energy into it and stuff. And I think if you can sustain where you're at when you're on tour, again, that's a success, I think, with training.
100%.
As long as you're not finishing a tour and then getting back into the gym and feeling like you're back to the beginning.
Yeah.
I've done that a couple of times where I've not been able to get out there and it sucks. You know, it's like, as long as you can get back from a tour or whatever and you feel like you've sustained where you're at, that's a great point to be at. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then, it's all balance, isn't it? Yeah. Everything's balance.
Definitely a win though, doing that. And then also on those days that you actually can't train, it's like, well, what can you do? As you said, maybe I can do something like a walk, or maybe I can
go for a walk. Yeah,
go for a walk. It's so underrated, isn't it?
Yeah, I try and
if you've got the energy.
Yeah, I try and get like sort of that minimum 10,000 steps in a day and stuff. But I like being outside. It's not a challenge for me. I like being outdoors. Yeah. So, you know, even if you can just do that, just get out, get off the bus, go for a walk, find a coffee shop that's like a 20-minute walk away. Find a good spot. It's a nice 20-minute walk, 20 minutes back, and then you've done something. You know, like,
I think I suppose it's different roles, and, you know, if you don't have the privilege to do that and you're like stage management or something like that and you're in there, I mean, a couple of my clients who do like stage management roles or whatever, I mean, they're doing like 30,000, 20,000 steps a day,
massively,
which is fucking mental. And I'm like, don't even think about working out today. You don't need to put that pressure on yourself at all. It's like, if you could maybe do a little bit of light stretching or a tiny bit of mobility to start your day, or at the end of your day, just try to unwind a little bit, you know, to help get a little bit better sleep. Yeah. That's the two things that you can actually control. Or hydration, you know, something throughout the day. You're walking and you can focus on staying hydrated. So it's like, you're still winning, but you just focus on the little things that you control rather than like, and that's where that's where you can sort of pinpoint it and sort of, this is how I work differently with different clients, sort of thing. Yeah. Do you find that, say, when you're home and you know you get massively into a routine, sort of training wise and nutrition, like how does that then help you, or how does that translate to being on tour? So
I think with being at the age I am and stuff now, I know what's good for my body and what's bad for my body. I think when I'm at home, I stick to very again, quite strict routines with the way I eat. Because I'm cooking for just myself. I stick to the very basics of your chicken, your veg and stuff like that. And then I feel like at the end of the week, if I want to treat myself with a takeout and stuff, I don't feel guilty about it. I can still enjoy the foods and stuff that I like. But when touring, it becomes different because you don't know if you're getting a catering team or if you're just buyouts every day. When there can be days where you're having you're having to eat out 3 times a day, and you don't know what's going in your food at that point. And I think there was a time when I was younger, I think I had 3 Burger Kings in one day. Just pick something different from the menu each time. A chicken burger, that's a bit healthy and stuff, but
bit less in there, I'll do.
Yeah, it's really bad. But yeah, it depends what kind of touring you're on. But I think once you get into habits and knowing what your body does with certain things and stuff, and I kind of know now what is good for me and what is bad for me and what things I need to avoid when I'm touring. And again, the same with the alcohol. It just if you're eating crap fast food every day, you're gonna have no energy. You're not gonna want to get in the gym. You're gonna start seeing yourself changing in negative ways and stuff. It's just being mindful of it, I think, and just
So do you think you the fact you've built up knowledge and you sort of know, in a sense, what how your body reacts to certain foods, this is going to make me feel a certain way, or this is going to give me energy, or this is going to make me feel like shit. You've got a sort of foundational knowledge, as I said, because you've built that up through, actually doing it and focusing on eating better, improving your habits, etc. But then that's do you feel it's it's a good tool now that when you're out of that, you're out of your home environment and you're on tour, and you can be like, actually, you know what, this maybe looks like something that I would have at home. So it's say you normally have an omelette, so it's this is the options. I'll go for something that I'd probably eat at home.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I'll still try and keep it as similar as I can. So if we're going out in the morning, and we'll go to a breakfast place, I'll just have some eggs on toast or something. It's very similar to what I would make at home. And then, if you've got catering, there's usually a lot of really great options with catering now. There'll always be some chicken or some fish, something vegetarian and stuff. And then in the other corner, you've got where all the tea is, there'll be a load of biscuits and crisps and sweets and stuff. It's always very tempting to go when you're bored during the middle of the day as well.
Yeah.
Just fancy a little
pop into catering.
Fancy a little bicky, or a little hobnob or something like that.
Little chia pudding.
Yeah. You like the chia pudding, don't you?
I'm the worst, honestly, for that's what I'm saying. The environment it's so much more, if it's there.
But when you're there every day, you learn to at start, it's oh wow, all this stuff's available to me. I want to eat it all and stuff. Whereas now it's no, just
I'm done with that. I've completed it. Don't need that corner.
Don't need that. Yeah. Don't. Cornetto.
Well, no, it's a corner.
Oh, that corner. Don't need that corner.
Okay.
Always room for a cornetto, mate.
Yeah. From my approach, how do you find that, say, I'm maybe different to just another PT, maybe in the gym who?
I think because you've come from a musician background yourself as well, so you kind of get it. You kind of understand what a musician's lifestyle is based around. You understand touring and what people need and stuff. And I think, again, going back to the app that you use that I can just log into anytime I need it, you've got that accountability. I can speak to you on it. And say if I'm you've told me before, let me know what hotels you're in so I can look at the hotel gyms that you're in and I can see what equipment they've got. And then you can change my routine to fit what is available to me. Any normal PT is not going to do that. Do you know what I mean? It's your focus is on a musician's lifestyle, and that is unfortunately what the kind of lifestyle is, where we don't know what kind of gym you get in, where you're going to be, what's going to be available to you. You kind of just have to make it up as you go a little bit. But it's great that I can always just message you and be like, I'm here today, there's this gym, it's not got this and this and this, but can you give me this, this and this, what I need to do? And it's having that accountability and ableness to change things as and when you need them.
Sure. And I think it's the relatable thing. And personally, from me, actually, coaching people like I get on with as well. I think that's really important. Like there's lots of people now who are trying to niche into different things and be like, oh, I do, train a certain person because either they've got money or whatever it is. But for me, it just feels natural. It feels like, it's not like you're my mate. Do you know what I'm saying?
But I also feel like we sort of touched on before, I think the music industry has changed so much, and I think people within the industry are just a lot more health conscious now. The amount of people that I meet on the touring circuit now that are wanting to go to the gym, wanting to look after themselves, are not drinking. So having someone that specialises in that field, that understands it and gets it, is so helpful. I don't even know the guys that I'm touring with next week. I've spoken over the phone and stuff, and I think I'd posted something from a session with you, and he immediately replied to me being like, oh, I've been really trying to get back into my gym routines on tour and stuff, so please let's go and do this together and stuff, which is amazing. So
because you guys are keeping each other accountable as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I had a conversation with a client the other day, and it was a similar thing. He was struggling to, he's great because he's focused on his nutrition and his hydration and again the things he can control, but his barrier is actually getting in those workouts.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, is there anyone else on tour at the moment as well who's actually doing those things, and maybe you can just get involved with them, and it just
well that's again great when you're touring with like 30 other people, and stuff. The likelihood is there's going to be someone there that wants to go and find a gym with you. I quite like training on my own when I'm at home, because that's kind of my time.
Fuck you up Fridays.
Fuck you up Fridays are great. With you and Tommy. But I think I enjoy training with other people on tour, because you are sort of giving each other that accountability then as well. Whereas when I'm back home, that is, it's important to have that downtime and a bit of time to yourself, because that's exactly what you don't get when you are on tour.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's a nice sort of like counterbalance between the two, really. But
yeah, I love to see it. I've seen a couple of my clients, there's a couple of guys on with President at the moment, Billy and Tommy, front of house, and he's a guitar tech, and those boys are just, they're both coaching with them, and they're just both different programs based on, Tom's focusing on weight loss, where Billy's the opposite. He's putting on muscle, and he's actually putting on weight. So they've got their individual programs and stuff like that, but they're both in the gym doing their workouts together, and it's just like, I love seeing it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great to see.
It's great, yeah.
And yeah, awesome. I think that's little two cheers. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully you also took some valuable tips that you can take into your own health and fitness journeys. I'm planning to sit down with some more clients and some guys in the industry, so follow along, and I'll speak to you soon.